Welcome to WP-Tonic, episode 23. That's good. Hey, Jonathan, welcome to WP-Tonic. Is this show 23?
I think it is, Bill.
We should know. We've
been knocking out so many that we've lost track, haven't we?
And we do have some interviews that we want to sort of spread out because we want to do a little bit more technical work. And I want to brag about my business.
It doesn't normally stop you anyway, Bill.
So first of all, tell me how MailRite is doing.
Trying to get some beta testers, veterinarians to come on board. I'm speaking to two next week. I spoke to one on Friday. He seems reasonably interested. It's coming along, but I've been utilising it for my own social media, and I've been doing set up a kind of couple dummy accounts and set up a dummy website, and it all seems to be working, and I'm hopeful. I think it's great. I would say this, but I'm not saying it. I think it's a great product.
Very good. No, I know it is a good product, and a lot of money, time, and effort's gone into it. It's definitely not a lean startup, that's for sure. I know how much is a fully blown, a lot of programming. So for me, it's been a crazy, a lot of work. I'm doing a launch right now, and I got betas out there. And we had free betas, but now I've got paid betas. So here's an offer to everyone out there. And my paid beta is stuff that you could figure out yourself, but it would take you years. And I've done it. And what we're doing right now is I'm doing one or two installs, depending on which package, of WordPress. And I use Genesis with Dynamic, and I use Headway. Those are some of the themes, and those are some of the frameworks we've been talking about. And you can get up to 2 years of Bluehost in your own Bluehost account, so with unlimited amount of websites to set up. I'll do all that. And then the good deal is someday this course is going to be between $700 and $1,100. But I have modulars that we're developing right now, and they're called bottom line upfront modules, learn how to do podcasting, how to do the Google Plus with the free streaming media once it's set up, just like what we've been testing, and then how to do some of the other social media elements all tied in, and the Hangouts, for example. Once you're set up, you got free streaming for even out in the field, which could be used anywhere in schools, churches. My primary target person is actually politicians running in 2016. They need to start now and get their website set up. By doing that, they're going to save a ton of money in their campaign, and that's one of my sells on the campaign side is if you're in politics, I'm going to show you how to win elections with about a third the money and definitely a lot less cost on the website because your volunteers are going to manage it, and you don't need a fancy website to win an election. There's some other things you need. You need some good mail and not spend your money till the end. So we're looking primarily for people running for office in 2016 at all levels, as well as entrepreneurs. So if you want to go to the website we're putting together right now, there's not much there. It's newmediagold.com. Or you can send me an email at bill@bluf.tv. And those are two ways to contact me, and we can set up a one-on-one discussion on the phone or on Skype. So that's what I'm up to right now. And we are 4 minutes into the show, and I said we could brag for like 4 or 5 minutes and talk about our product.
And you definitely have bragged, Bill.
Well, what you need, and it's good stuff, but what you need, Jonathan, is you need our listeners to have their local vets or their friends contact you.
Oh, they get a great service. They'll be beta testers. They get the product for life, and they get me and my crew. And we treat them like kings and queens. We get their email and their social media on steroids.
So where they just go to mailrite.com?
Yeah. They can email me, or they can email me at Jonathan@mail, MAIL-right, RIGHT.com. Personally email me if they know somebody, because it's a great product.
And they can also find you at WP-Tonic.com.
Yeah.
They could look you up. Very good. So for the show today, what are we going to talk about? This is like show 3 or 4?
I thought we'd do a kind of final kind of roundup around frames, talk about WooThemes, Canvas, give a little bit of additional information, and throw in a couple others that we didn't discuss that are big enough to look at.
Okay, so let's drive on.
Well, I've decided. Oops, sorry about that. I decided in the end to use Genesis, but I was looking at Canvas from WooCommerce, and I had an exchange of emails with a very helpful technical representative of theirs. I got to admit, their support is pretty good. And the situation is a bit clearer now. They got Canvas 5. I think they've got Canvas 5.5. Like, you get 90 themes if you buy in, but unfortunately a lot of those themes don't actually work with Canvas, which is their framework. Only about 5 to 6 of the actual present themes actually work with the Canvas framework. It's not fully responsive either. They're dealing with all this either in this quarter or the next quarter of 2015. They're bringing out Canvas 6, and they're going to be kind of ceasing support with a lot of their older themes, and all their new themes are going to be based on Canvas 6. But they haven't clarified the upgrade route between Canvas 5.5 and 6, and they're not actually saying that they will be an upgrade route. They're still looking at that. Basically, it's a situation in quite a bit of flux. So people really have to make their own decisions about if they want to go down the Canvas route. So,
that's basically WooThemes, as you mentioned. So you go to WooThemes.com. And you can also go to WooThemes.com/products/Canvas, and you'll see the Canvas program. Yeah, developer package is not real expensive.
No, it's good value, and it's their respected theme house, and obviously they do WooCommerce.
Right. WooCommerce is they're known for their commerce sites.
Yeah. So, but I think you've got to be aware that they obviously they have big ambitions for Canvas 6, and it's going to be fully responsive, and it's going to be a good framework, but that's this year, sometime this year, and it's not there at the present moment.
Well, I know a lot of people who have storefronts that use WooCommerce, and it's not a bad platform for storefronts. I know that for sure.
No. So the next one I want to talk about, which we didn't talk about in our previous shows, is kind of escaped my vision, you could say, is iThemes Builder. iThemes are another well-established theme and plugin shop, and I think they're like in the top three, Studio Press, Genesis, WooCommerce, and then I think you got iThemes, and they've got this builder, and it's a kind of hybrid because it's a plugin, but it's a plugin that works with their themes. I don't think you can just get the iTheme builder and use it with any theme. It's got to be a theme that came from iThemes, and they've got a big library of themes. They've got about 90 themes, and it's a visual page builder as well. It seems to have some of the power of Genesis with the ability for somebody that doesn't know the code that well just to move stuff around a bit. So it's interesting, and it just didn't come to me. And at the present moment, they've got a kind of 5-theme, fully responsive pack for $80, and then they've got other price structures, and you get about 90 themes. So maybe it's something that people should look at. I haven't used it at all. One of the things that's interesting is they've got an interesting support setup. Basically, they've got a lot of documentation, but you have to pay a yearly subscription to get a lot of that documentation, and it's about $150 a year, and they've got tons of training videos and an enormous library, but you do have to pay a chunk of change to get access to that.
Yeah, I was looking for some pricing. There's a training site. Yeah, they have some reasonable pricing too. So iThemes training is $197, or 500 hours of professional WordPress video training.
Thank you for Yeah, I was slightly wrong there. So it's right, it's actually more. But they do provide a lot, but you do have to keep that in mind that they're going to charge you.
Yeah, that could be a discussion for a different day. What do you think? And we'll discuss that. We should have a show on how you get going on WordPress and the best way to train. So that's the process. You can get a head start like what I'm doing, getting people's sites set up. You can go in there and try to do some free work and set up. And there's just the thing about WordPress and all these frameworks and the child themes is there's so many variables. So you probably need to stick go on one or two. And I like the frameworks because they speed it up. And for me, the learning curve, and just stick with those and just stay with them and go slow, making your decision where to go once you get a couple, when you want to change.
Yeah. The next one I want to talk about
We have 3 tonight. That's good.
Yeah. Another one I want to quickly talk about is elegant themes.
Well, elegant themes. We didn't talk about them yet.
No, they're pretty major force in. They've been a major theme shop for a number of years. Obviously 2 years in the word. It's a bit like dog cat years in the WordPress community. If you've been around for 3 years, that's like 9 years in the normal world. So they've been around for a while in kind of WordPress terms. And I've got to be honest, I've had to work with some of their older themes with clients, and they've been a bit messy. Some of the coding some of the code, but they were older themes, and it might be a little bit unfair to bring it up, but they weren't coded and documented the best that they could have been. But they were older themes, and but they do provide pretty good value. They provide you can get what they've got. Basically, they've got a kind of theme on steroids. It's called Divi or Divi, Divi.
Divi. That's one of the business themes.
But it's a kind of framework, but it's in that between area of what is a theme and what is a framework. And it's a kind of theme on, like I say, on steroids. And they're declared that they're going to base all their other themes. All their other themes are going to be child themes based on this theme. And they've declared that. And at the present moment, there's some themes that are child themes of Divi, and they offer Divi plus 87 other themes. But do keep in mind that it's a bit like WooCommerce with their canvas. A lot of these 87 other themes will not work with Divi.
Right. So Divi is they've got a pretty good interactive demonstration on site too.
Yeah, it's another higher. It also shares some linkage to iThemes Builder, because they provide this Divi is provided in a plugin. So it does start to get a bit confusing, doesn't it, Bill?
I'm looking at it all. Yeah, there's a lot to it. I mean, they've got a lot of themes, and you narrow in on the Divi. That does look like something special. How do you find this?
Well, they are a well-known theme shop, but do keep in mind it's a plugin. Do keep in mind that a lot of their older themes don't work with Divi, but you do get Divi plus 87 pretty well designed. One of the nice things about elegant themes is that their designs are not quite so, looking for the right words here, Bill, like comparing them to Studio Press, they seemed a little bit more individual. But on the other hand, some of their older themes in these 87 are not going to be coded up to the standards of more modern themes. But you're getting all this for $69.
Right. This Divi looks pretty intense. I'm looking at like the different headers and stuff.
Yeah.
And the social media built in.
Yeah. So I think you got different frameworks for different people in different situations. Let's just do a final walkthrough.
Okay.
And then we can wrap the show up, Bill, and we can wrap up our framework free show special here.
Right, we're at 18 minutes here. We're doing pretty well, aren't we?
So I think Genesis is the big daddy of frameworks at the present moment. I think it's very well documented. It comes from a theme shop that's highly respected. You've got a big community around it. You've got some very experienced and respected developers that publish a lot, do a lot of blogging. You've got kind of third-party shops that make additional themes. Not as many. I think there's still a big market for third-party theme shops to make Genesis-based themes. But it's well established and well coded and a lot of documentation. So I think if you're going to provide a kind of consultancy in a particular industry and be a WordPress consultant, and you're looking for a well-supported framework, or you're intermediate developer to a high-level developer, StudioPress and Genesis is probably the one you're going to go with.
I concur with you. And one last thought from my side, and we did this about 6 weeks ago or 2 months ago, whatever, not long ago, but we built basically a blog out of Genesis, a blog site. It's a WordPress, but it really focused on blogging for my wife, Karen, and it's KarenConrad.com. And it actually shot her up on the top for Karen Conrad, across the United States, just the name Karen Conrad. And then in Reno, it has really helped her SEO.
Oh, great. And then we got the one you bought.
Headway. I'm playing with it. It looks really nice. It's kind of a fun site, but it's definitely not the power of Genesis.
It's a completely different beast, really. You've got this visual. They have provided now child themes, which makes it more versatile, but it's a totally different animal, really. You get this visual editor and you can move elements around and you can go berserk with it. And it's a powerful animal, but it's totally different. It's just amazing that these are two respected WordPress theme shops and they come with two frameworks that are so different. Would you concur with that, Bill?
Oh, yes. Yes, they're really different. And and I agree. It's two different ways of thinking.
Yeah, it's really two totally different ways of building child themes on a framework. But they, both, you really need to look at both, really. And I think some people either would be great, but I think it's a personal taste thing. And then we looked at WooThemes and Canvas, and I really like Canvas in some ways, but it's in a bit of a flux. It's behind the curveball compared to Genesis and StudioPress, but it comes from one of the major theme shops in the WordPress industry, and these people, they're known for WooCommerce, so they've got a lot of traction and publicity in the industry. But I don't think they're going to bring out Canvas 6. But they're probably not going to bring that out until the middle of this year. So it looks good, but it's in a period of change.
Well, I think this is sort of our wrap-up show for Frameworks for a while. So what we need is the listener to send us in what they want to hear. Anything specific they want to look at. They want to look at membership sites, specific applications. Send us what you want to do, and we'll get it up. Tonight is Sunday, January the 18th. It's about 8:30 Pacific time, and this show will be up within an hour or so.
All right, then. So you want to finish now, Bill, do you?
Yeah, we had 20 minutes tonight.
Right.
21 minutes. Very good. Thank you, Jonathan. It's been a good night. Weird week, but good show.